Hello students and welcome to day 1 of being a writer. I did re-record the video from this morning because we had a few technical issues, but that does mean it will be a little bit shorter for you to get through. Thank you so much for joining us. If you can please pull out a pencil and a brand new notebook. So I have a little one right here, but just make sure it has some rings and places that you can write. We are going to be writing in a writing notebook for our whole quarter. And just because we're at home, we want to make sure that we don't do things too differently. All right. So our do now for today. Every day at the beginning of class, we're going to take 5 minutes to do a do now. A do now is something that kind of just gets your brain moving. Today, we're learning about free writing. So a free write is just a fun way to get ideas. Free writing, you write down all of the thoughts that you have on a topic without stopping. So I want everyone to get their pencil in their hand because I'm about to put your topic up right now, and I want you to write as many things as you can about what I put up. Munchie Monday, what is your favorite snack to munch on? So I put that I like fruit, and I also like juice and those little cracker things that come with cheese. Those are my favorite. But I'm going to go ahead and give you about a minute or two to write down everything that comes to your head, your favorite munchies. If you are watching this recording at home, go ahead and pause it until you're done and then restart the video so you don't have to wait. Awesome job, Knights. Moving on, we're going to talk a little about sentences today. And I know you guys probably are like Miss Cross. We know what sentences are, but sentences have a lot of parts. So I just wanted to make sure that we go through all the parts so that we're not confused anymore. So what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words put together to form a complete thought. So that's like if I say, I like to go to the store. Is that a complete thought? It is. It's telling you that I would like to go somewhere, and it just so happens to be the store. All sentences have to have 4 things for sure. The first thing that they need to have, and our friend Dora is going to help us, is they need to have a capital letter. So you can already see up here where it gives us the definition of a sentence, look what it starts with, a capital A. So that's super important, otherwise nobody would know where your sentence starts, right? The next thing it needs to have is a period at the end. Now I know up here this is an exclamation point, but it is ending my sentence. So if you don't put a period or another punctuation mark at the end of your sentence, it literally runs on forever and ever, and that's why we call it a run-on sentence. So make sure you put something at the end to finish your sentence. It needs to have a subject and also a predicate. Now, I know subjects and predicate, maybe you're like, Miss Cross, I know what a capital letter is, and I know what a period is, but I'm kind of unsure on what the subject and the predicate are. That's okay, because we're going to keep going, and I'm going to tell you what they are. So a subject is the who and the what of a sentence. So I said before that I like to play games, so I would be the subject. What if I said, Mrs. Guerrero loves to go dancing? What would the subject be? I paused because I was hoping somebody might say it out loud. The subject is Miss Guerrero. Remember, it's the who or what. So sometimes it's not a person. Maybe it's a talking dog. Maybe it's a snowman. So long as it's somebody that's speaking, that is your subject. A predicate is what your subject does. So, just like I said, Miss Guerrero likes to dance. The predicate of that would be likes to dance. Because I know my subject's already Miss Guerrero, and then what is she doing? She likes to dance. So when I add a subject and a predicate together, I get a sentence. And if I want, I can add details in to make it an even more interesting sentence. Our next slide. So, excuse me. So our next slide was a writing slide. And it's okay if you can't record or write on it right now because this is a recording, but there is the link to the Pear Deck. Hopefully it's up and running right now. We did have some issues today, but if not, you can write these sentences down or at least tell me what the subject is in each sentence. So our first sentence says that Sally went to the zoo. Take a second and think of what your subject might be. Remember I said it could be a who, or like if it's a teacher, it could be a dog. So remember, think that. And then the predicate tells you what they're doing. So the first one I'm going to help you with, and it's Sally went to the zoo. So our subject is Sally, and our predicate is went to the zoo. It's a simple sentence. They put it together, and we have a beautiful sentence. Doesn't have a lot of details, but we know what it's saying. For the rest, I want you to try on your own. I will read all of them out loud, but if you need to pause in between when I'm talking, please do so you can make sure you get it before I give you the answer. So, Miss Cross teaches writing. Who is your subject? And what is your subject doing? The next sentence, we are going to get ice cream. Again, what's your subject? Who is it talking about? And what are they doing? Your very last sentence is my favorite color is blue. So remember, I'm just going to give you a hint that not always does it give you a specific name. It might say she likes to go to the park. She would still be my subject. Even though it doesn't give me a name, I know it's talking about a person. So when you're all done with this slide, you can go on to the next one. Please take your time to figure this out because Miss Cross might call and check in on your answers. So the next thing we're going to talk about is that there's two types of subjects. So we know that a subject is Miss Guerrero. We already came up with that. That's our example we're using today. But there are simple subjects and complete subjects. So I know it's like, gosh, those are like two similar names. One says simple, one says complete, but both have the word subject. That could be kind of confusing. I promise you it's not. So a simple subject is what you already know. It's the who and the what. It gives something its name. That's why it says the naming part. A complete subject is what the subject is doing plus the details. So, for this sentence that I put, it says the silly dog ate a plate of spaghetti. So, I know that my subject must be dog. That's what it's talking about. But if I was going to describe that subject, what happens to be dog here, what word are they using to describe that dog? So if you said silly, you'd be correct because it didn't just say, oh, that dog likes to eat spaghetti. It says that silly dog because dogs who eat spaghetti, I guess, are kind of silly, right? So let's try the next one. Miss Polanco is wearing a nice dress. So we know that Miss Polanco is our subject, but is there another subject in that sentence that has a little more details? Is there another thing? If you look right here, nice dress. Is it saying just a dress or is it giving it a detail? So if you said it's giving it a detail, it is. It's making it more interesting. It just said she's wearing a dress. Or if she's wearing a really nice, beautiful dress with flowers and hearts and, right? It sounds a little bit more interesting. So complete subjects just give you a little bit more. Our last sentence says, Molly ate a giant ice cream cone. Giant ice cream cone. So I'm not going to give you the answer to that one. I want you to see if you can do it by yourself. Go ahead and pause if you need to, and then press play again if you want to continue. All right, I know everybody sees our little SpongeBob reading up in the corner. He's here to tell you that not only are there two types of subjects, but there's two types of predicates too. And so we already know one, so we can't be that overwhelmed. We're like, oh, Miss Cross, that's what they're doing. That's easy peasy. We talked about that. But there are simple predicates and compound predicates. Remember, simple predicate, what are they doing? It's usually an action, okay? So I say, Miss Cross is brushing her teeth. Miss Guerrero loves to go dancing. Miss Thurman likes to bake cookies. Remember, they're all doing something. A verb means you're doing it, like it's a sport, or I'm picking something up, or sitting down. Compound predicate is what the subject is doing, plus words that describe what they're doing. So you guys already know what they're doing, correct? But when we're talking about adding more details, so we know compound for predicates, we got to add something in there. So I might say, Miss Cross likes to go to the store. That's a simple predicate. It's easy. But what if I said, Miss Cross likes to go to the store because it's bright and shiny and it has all her favorite foods and she likes to get mango nada before she leaves? That's like way more interesting, right? So compound number, it gives you just a little bit more. A little bit more. And a simple predicate, it's basic. So let's try. This is an example I used already, but Miss Guerrero is quickly baking cookies. Would that be a simple predicate or a compound predicate? Remember, when you have a predicate, it is a verb. They're doing something. What tells you more about what they're doing? Is that simple predicate or compound? So I'm going to let you pick. The first one I will tell you is compound, and the word that tells you that is quickly. It could have just said, Miss Guerrero is baking cookies, but that's boring. So I wanted to excite you, and it said Miss Guerrero is quickly baking cookies. Maybe she's shoving them in there so fast so she can put new ones in. Maybe. Who knows? Our next one, my mom yelled loudly that it was time for dinner. I'm wondering if that's a simple predicate or a compound predicate. Use your tools, and remember, is it giving me some extra details that it could have made a sentence without? I'm going to let you figure that one out on your own, love bugs. And the last one I will do with you. John chewed his food loudly. Well, I know John chewed his food is a simple predicate, but then it gives me that one describing word. So I can already tell you it's a compound predicate.